All right, y'all. It's time for another episode of Drive Time Talks. All right. The math of life. The math of our life is always going to be accurate. The math of our life. I talked about this a few years ago when it first hit me, and it came back today, that life is math. Life is math. That means, you know what really gets us? It is the accumulative effects of our life. The accumulative effects of our life. It's not just the one or two things that we do. Good morning, y'all. It's not just the one or two or three things that we do in life. I remember, when you think about our eating habits. Ooh, don't eat this or don't eat that. You're going to die or whatever. Even going back to Adam and Eve. You're going to eat this fruit. Don't eat of this tree. You shall surely die. The problem is because we don't see immediate effects of our actions, we think they're not having any effect. But it's the math. It's the summation. Y'all, it's the summation. It's the accumulative effects. It's things are adding up. And those are the results that we are getting in our life. And that's what we got to be intentional about, especially in business. Our life is a business. We are business. We are a whole corporation. Our life is a business. We have income. We have cash flow. We have debits. We have credits as individuals, as human beings. That's a business. We have supply. We have demand. Every person has a supply for somebody's demand. That makes us a business. Jesus said, I am about my Father's what? Business. That's because people are business. And so we need to really be aware that the math of our life will tell the story of our actions, because it's the accumulative effects. So if we want to reverse things in our life, man, the sun is killing my face. If we want to reverse situations, if we want to change situations, if we want something different, we can't really expect one or two or three efforts or moments or changes 2 or 3 times of an activity in weight loss or financial changes. We can't just do it 1 or 2 or 3 times, because we didn't get in the situation that we're in after 1 or 2 or 3 times. No, it's the accumulative actions, the accumulative effects. Things are adding up. Actions add up. Actions add up. And we have to add our actions up every day and take inventory and ask ourselves the question, is this the result that I want for my life? We have to ask that question. Take inventory, add up our actions, add up our words, add up our decisions. For example, how many times have you said, my life sucks, over the last 10 or 15 years? How many times have you said, I will never get out of this situation? How many times have you said, this is going to be the death of me, whatever it is? How many times have you said those things over the years? The accumulative effects of our words and our actions, they're adding up. And so now, here it is, 10, 15, 20 years later, those words are now coming true and giving you the very result that you said or you thought but you didn't want it. You still said it, you still thought it, but you didn't want it. It's the accumulative effects. It's the adding up. It's the continuation of certain things that's given us the result. And we have to realize that we're programming our life. The mind and the subconscious is literally a similar, well, I'll take this back. The mind isn't like a computer. The computer is like the mind, because that's where computers got their design and their framework from how the mind works. And so we literally program our mind and our thoughts, and it's input, process, output, and storage. So we've been inputting certain things into our hearts and into our minds. We process those things, we believe those things, we remember those things, and then we store those things, and then we get an output. So we're inputting things like, this economy sucks. I'll never be able to survive in this situation. Like, we're saying all kinds of things, and we act like we don't understand that our words have life and power. They determine the way we feel. Our words determine the way we feel. And if we feel bad, if we feel like we can't do something, literally, if we just feel like it, that's the power of feelings and emotions. So if we feel like we can't, then we can't. If we feel like we can, then we can. And all those feelings have been determined by the words that we have programmed into our own hearts and subconscious mind. So, accumulative thoughts, the math of our life. I want to encourage you all today to do the math of your life. What kind of math? What have you been doing? Have you been adding? What have you been adding? What have you been dividing? What have you subtracted anything out of your life that you needed to subtract? There's some things we need to subtract. Like, we need to just subtract certain words out of our life. I don't use the word try. I subtracted the word try out of my vocabulary. I do not use the word try anymore. And it's changed my life. I feel so much better. I'm so much more intentional. I see the changes. I feel the changes. Everything I do is either do or not do, but I no longer try. There is no try. It's I'm going to do it or I'm not going to do it, but there is no try. So I've subtracted the word try out of my vocabulary. And I would suggest that you all do the same thing. Subtract the word try out of your vocabulary. I'm doing my next session of the 10X Transformation Challenge. It's a 13-week intensive accelerated webinar where I'm taking people through a 10X transformation, and I'm challenging them to see how much their life can transform in 13 weeks. Starting back up in February, we're finishing up our current session, and it's been an amazing journey. Everyone has loved it so far. They're experiencing so much change and growth. So if you all are interested, if you are a professional, if you are a business owner, if you are an entrepreneur, and you are looking to really personally develop, you're looking for growth, you want your business to expand and grow, I would suggest doing the 10X Transformation Challenge. If you're interested, just put 10X in the comments. There might be a link somewhere around there, but put 10X in the comments, and I will make sure you get a link to see basically if you qualify, because I'm not taking everybody. I learned that some people just aren't ready for certain things, and so I don't want to expend energy with people who are just not ready for the change that they can have. And so it's draining when you are looking to help people who don't want the help personally. So I have a qualification form that everyone is going to check out. But yeah, what's up, Joanna? Thank you for watching. How are you doing, ma'am? So I'm headed out. This has been Drive Time Talks on a Thursday, and I am out of here. Peace.